Well, that's unanimous. It's a 2.
Wait, what was it?
It was a 2, kid. Daddy, tell me a story about why you love what you do. And we prepped this a little bit before show, and it's that doesn't necessarily mean your work. It can be the projects that you volunteer for. For you, it can be your church life, it can be fatherhood, it can be whatever it is that do encompasses for you. Because I'd like to hear some speak pipes on this. Why do you love what you do? Or maybe even a better phrase could be, if you're at this level, why do you love who you are?
Okay. The first thing that jumps out to me is different coding projects, because I am a programmer by trade. But there's a ton of times where that in and of itself is just busy work or mundane or fixing issues. That's not fun. But what I love about it, the bits that I love, is when I can see the stuff that I program make an actual impact in the quality of life for people, whether that's at their job or I did some programming for the track and things like that. When I can see how it helps people, I really like that. The best feeling when it comes to programming.
I got you, man. But what I do is the same as who I am. I help others be awesome, and I love it because there's just it's very similar to what you're saying, of just when I can bring really it hits the making your life easier. I love that too. I love being easy to work with. I love going, hey, just think about this process, and all of a sudden, like, oh my goodness, and that's so much better. That's cool, and I do love that. But I love it actually when I can change your life in a moment by seeing an idea finally click, dots connect, or a perception of yourself or your situation that you hadn't seen yet. And it comes out in everything I do. It comes out in the panels that I do at Dragon Con or anywhere else. It comes out in the shows here. I mean, a lot of people go, what do you do for a living? How much time do you have? Because I hustle is the short answer. I've got a lot of irons in the fire and a lot of good things going on. But why I do it is because I just love, honestly, to oversimplify it, I love when I can help somebody go from I can't to I can. And because I know that's an evolutionary process of your soul, of not even understanding there's a world where you could do something, or not even understanding that there's a different thing over here that you never saw. And now I opened up your mind, and you can do great. Down to this recently, I taught a CPR class, and it's very non-traditional. And one of the ladies was there. We got a video of it. It's a great moment when they finally figured something out that they were struggling with, and they got it, and they all cheered, and it was amazing. That was our first CPR class ever. And I've taught a lot of CPR classes, but this one was different, and it hit different because it took somebody from I can't to absolutely I can. And you see that moment. That's what I love. And you don't always get to see it. So the benefits of why I love what I do is when somebody comes by and says they love what I do. I got that a little bit this week at the con for the first time actually in a long time. For EMS, that is. I got somebody come by and say, "Oh man, I watch your TikToks all the time. I love them." I'm like, "Thanks." I'm taking notes. What do you like about them? What's the funniest thing? But it really was. And then we talked, and what I knew what I was doing for them in that help others be awesome moment was making it about them. I was asking them why they taught in EMS and why they it's an instructor on their badge and why they do what they do. And 'cause I get to do that all day long on my shows. Give me a microphone. Heck, put me in a car with Joe for an hour. I don't even need a microphone. I'll still talk about why I was so awesome. but to be able to help somebody else feel the way I get to feel a lot of the time, that's better than drugs, kids. Don't ask me how I know, but it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about just recently from a coding standpoint with my life. Um about 2 weeks ago, there was some maintenance on our servers, and I'm technically a server admin now instead of a dedicated programmer. And so during that process, we have a lot of manual stuff where we've got to deactivate a lot of our systems so that we can do the maintenance and then reactivate them afterwards. And so you have to take note of which stuff that you're doing. It's very, very, very manual. And so I during the process, I forgot to turn one of the tasks, the scheduled tasks, back on. And so it made it so the week after, for the next few days, one specific area, their stuff wasn't getting processed. And so they reached out to us a couple of days later, like, oh, stuff's getting stuck in this queue. Can you investigate? And it was because I hadn't turned something back on. And so I talked to my manager. I owned up to it, and he very much appreciated that I wasn't trying to skirt responsibility or anything. But I asked him, I was like, why don't we have an automated process to do this instead of manual? And so this past week, week and a half really, I've been voluntold that I am now doing the automated process. But what it'll end up doing is it will save us that second guessing whether we activated everything, and it'll make everything just in general faster. What would take half an hour to 40 minutes, because I've got to deactivate dozens of scripts on 4 or 5 different servers. But now with the script that I'm working on, I'll be able to kick that off, and it will go through and reach out to each of the servers and deactivate it within a couple minutes, if that, within like a minute. And so, this is going to save us a fair bit of time on all of our different any of these weekend. This is weekend stuff. We're all salary employees. We're not getting paid overtime. So this weekend work, that's some prime real estate there.
But
that
Joe,
we
you should be dedicated to the company, man. We're all pitching in.
No, thank you. And so, this will be a big. I would rather, even if the time sunk into programming this doesn't pay off for months or years, the fact that I'm doing this during work hours and it's going to save me off work. Out of work normal business hours time makes it 100% worth it in my book. But plus, not having these little hiccups where, oh, I forgot to turn on one little thing. It's all going to be automated. And it's going to be smart automated too, where it will actually scan the different servers and say, okay, this is what's currently activated, because we've got a bunch of services that are deactivated by default because we run them manually as needed. And so it'll actually go through and it'll say, okay, these are the ones that are activated, and it'll create a list for you, and then it'll use that list to reactivate it after the maintenance. I know, I'm a super nerd.
Well, no, yeah, you are. But what I'm laughing at is our podcast listeners. It really would behoove you to show up live. You don't see his face. He is beaming, talking about this beep bop boop stuff, like he's talking about his brand new baby that was just born. Look at the picture. It's truly on his. He loves that, but you're a specialist because your passion to serve, your passion. I think we're all born to serve, but when you embrace that, your passion comes through in this coding. And I mean, I'm not bored. I don't understand it. I'm not bored because you are so excited about it. But I'm laughing because they don't see your face. Only 5 of us get to see your face right now.
Oh, but yeah, no, it's just about ready for the next time we have maintenance, and it'll be great. Be good stuff.
Let's go to the negative real quick.
Uh-oh.
of people not loving who they are, what they do. And I want to give you this. This was what was given to me when I first went to counseling many, many years ago. And this quote that I still to this day cannot track down who it's from. And I did change it somewhat. So I can kind of take credit for the change, but it doesn't matter. Just I told you about it, okay? The quote is, what you do is not who you are, but understanding who you are will change everything that you do. And that changed my life greatly. And when you get to the negative of when you're doing something you love and other people are being negative about it, it comes out sometimes in a jealousy, like they don't understand. And sometimes it comes out in love of oversimplifying things, like to a point. I the negative one at my old job, I had somebody tell me, and very angrily, like he was on his high horse and he just somehow put me in my place. Like, man, you work harder to not work than anything. I'm like, is that's supposed to be an insult? Because yeah, I work hard to not work. I still work harder than anybody else here, but yes, I put people in place and processes in place because I've watched paramedics slump over the wheel of an ambulance.
Yeah.
Why would I want to always be? Why do I want to be that cog in the? I think it was Snowpiercer. It's about the train with Chris Evans and a post-apocalyptic world. It's always moving.
Okay.
It's all snow out there. Okay, I won't ruin it. But if you've seen that movie about the end of the world train where everybody's living on the train, it's constantly moving, and you know what runs that engine or keeps it, that's why would you want to be that? Why do you want to be the cog when you can enjoy some life at some point? You've even you've even been on Starkey sometimes and out of I believe it's out of place of fun and love of like it's like in our volunteer department or something or chats wherever you're like, yeah, Charles just finds other people to do everything for him. Yeah, specialist, and look at your face. You're loving every second of doing this part of the job. You're
Yeah.
welcome. And again, you did again. I'm being truthful here. I'm being genuine. I think you are doing it out of love. I take it out of love, but there were times in my life where I took it part.
Oh no, we lost Charles. He's gone. What's going?
Uh,
Oh, now
All right,
it's
we're getting
gonna
there.
kick me
Not
off.
it. No, I don't know if I disappeared on your side, but this guy did it at the beginning of the show last time. Everything, yeah,
And now you're
I am
Tyra
Tyra.
again.
We're now gonna work in some Taylor Swift.
Oh. Yeah, I've got the stream up over here, and you disappeared from the stream, and
And
I
look,
was full
I
screen.
can't show you my screen, but in the settings where my name is, it's got Charles McFall. Yeah, there's who knows? Maybe I'll try Safari next time or something. It did this last week where it just simply on my side, and because I know last week,
Yeah,
random,
it's just like reset everything.
yeah, it's like instantly all I see is the brick wall, which is the background behind our videos that we don't really use anymore. It's the brick wall. And then all of a sudden it says Joseph Art has joined, and me and him, but my camera disappears on the side too. Both disappear, they both reappear. And then if I put it back, it moves it out for you or something. Like last time I tried to put you first, and you said I took you away. So it's weird, is all I can say. Anyway, side note, we're talking about doing what you love. But if you deny who you are, then you'll never love what you do. And I think that's important. I would love Joe's job if it was for me. I've learned coding. I find it very fun to learn different things. If I need to put money on the table and somehow my rookie level of coding could get a job, sure. You know what I love about doing that? I'm providing for my family and I'm still
Yeah.
connecting with other people.
Well, and once you're in the door, you're set. Because like I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but one of the she's retired now, but one of the people I used to work with, she had a coding position. Her degree was in library science. But she got her foot in the door, and she was with Blue Cross as a programmer for ages.
And that's the thing. Did she let, oh, that's not me, stop her? She didn't have a degree in a coder. She was not a coder by profession or by education. She didn't care. She's like, hey, I don't know a real story, but hey, I'll give it a shot, whatever. And she wouldn't have stayed there if she couldn't do the job. I would hope. All right. On that note, so Bob says in the chat that Dad was mean to me, Uncle Charles. And here's where Talk Studio did something weird. I wrote in, take it like the sniveling little middle child you are, you piece of trash. It actually auto-corrected to defax is on the way, Bobby. So I don't know why I did that. But sorry that your daddy was mean to you.
Oh.
Probably deserved it 'cause you're middle child.